humility. And that doesn't mean you're going to be humbled, although sometimes you'll feel like that. What it means is that you are going to have to make a choice, if you want to follow that path, to feel, desire to feel all of your own emotions, whether they're pleasurable or painful. So my definition of humility is the desire to feel all emotion, whether pleasurable or painful. Now the problem with it, most of us, is we have no trouble with the pleasure. Generally. Not everyone's like that, by the way. A lot of people do have trouble with even feeling the pleasure. But most of us have a desire to feel the pleasure, but not the desire to feel the painful. And it's the desire to feel the painful that often we need to work on, to allow ourselves to just experience the painful emotions as they are. Let ourselves be overwhelmed by it. So humility means that if I desire to feel all of my emotion, whether it's pleasurable or painful, I'll be able to be in any interaction with any person, with any animal, and whenever any emotion comes up for me, I will feel it. And you'll get to the point where you'll feel it at that instant. And you won't put it off, you won't delay it, you won't care who's in front of you, what they're doing, who's around, you will just feel the emotion in that instant. And that's where you're aiming. Because the place of abandonment with God is you feeling every emotion the moment you feel. That's how God created you to exist. So that's the first thing. Any questions about that quality?
So you can't actually feel another's emotion because you're only going to attract that in order to feel what's in you?
Yeah, the truth is that if you are sitting down with a friend and she's having a cry, and then you start crying, you're not actually feeling her emotion. You're feeling your own emotion that's sympathetic to her emotion. When you release your own emotion, she'll be able to have a cry right in front of you, and you won't cry. So don't try to make yourself not cry. What I'm saying is that when you've removed all sympathetic emotion from within you, of course, anybody else feeling that emotion, you won't feel it. So you know how sometimes you're with a person and they seem to make you angry? Well, they're not making you angry. You have anger inside of you that their feelings are triggering inside of you. And they can't make you angry or sad or needy or powerless or anything else. Nobody can do that to you.
Why humility? I don't see.
Well, when we're willing to experience all of our own emotion, are we resistive?
So that's the opposite to resistive.
Yeah, you can say. Well, the opposite to humility is pride or arrogance. Right?
That's what we want.
Now, when we're proud, what we're actually doing is we have no desire to feel all of our own emotion. When we're arrogant, what we're doing is we're having no desire to feel all of our own emotion. And instead, we're putting other people down, trying to shut them down instead. So, my definition of humility is a bit different than the dictionary's definition of humility, right? And when a person's humble, they are teachable. Can you see why? Because everything that you fire at them, they're willing to feel their own emotion first about it. See, every bit of resistance that we have in our soul to any teaching that's presented to us by God, by the universe, if you like, any teaching that's presented to us from the universe, the whole reason why we don't absorb it all is because we're not willing to feel our emotions about it. When we're willing to feel our emotions about it, we can absorb things so rapidly and change very rapidly as a result.
Is it like being open to any experience or any emotions at all?
Yeah, that's right. So when we're humble, we're open. We're so open because we're desiring. We've got a passionate desire to feel. So we're so open to every possible feeling that can hit us, even if it's painful. We're even open to that. So in other words, we're not judging an emotion firstly and saying, oh, is this going to be pleasurable? If it's not pleasurable, then I'm going to push this away. And you see a lot of times we've got error in us. And the error emotions are going to be painful to experience. And so we try to shut them down. And it's the process of shutting them down that keeps us away from God. So we need to be just open to all of our emotion. Not embarrassed to experience all of our emotion. Not ashamed of experiencing all of our emotion.